Hello everyone, so in the last class we talked about different types of bacteria under kingdom Mondera, and today we are going to start with the second part of biological classification, which is kingdom Protista. So which organisms are considered to be protist, or I can say what are the characters that differentiate bacteria from protist, or I can again say that what are the characters that differentiate other group of organisms from protist. Okay, so an organism can be called as protist if it has the following features. For example, the following features are, the first feature is the body structure. Now the body structure in case of protist is unicellular and eukaryotic. Okay, so I can write the body structure is unicellular, that is the organism is made up of a single cell and the cell is eukaryotic. That means it has a well-defined nucleus. Its nucleus is well-defined. It has some cell organelles. Okay, in case of bacteria, or I can say kingdom Mondera, the body structure was unicellular and prokaryotic. But in this case, the body structure is still unicellular, but it is eukaryotic. So that's the main difference between bacteria and protista. Okay. The second part is nutrition. Now some organisms are autotrophic, some protists are autotrophic, and some protists are heterotrophic. Okay. So I can write mostly autotrophic, but some are heterotrophic as well. Okay. Now what is the meaning of autotrophic nutrition? Auto means self, trophic means nutrition. Okay. So those organisms that can prepare their own food, they are considered to be autotrophic, and those who depend on some other organism for their food, they are heterotrophs. Okay, so plants basically they produce their own food, so they are called autotrophic organisms. Similarly, protista, most of the protista, they are also autotrophic in nature, although some are heterotrophic. Okay, let's see what's the next part. The next part is habitat. So again, I can write they are aquatic and they prefer moist habitat. What is habitat? What do you mean by habitat? Habitat is that place where an organism lives. Okay, so aquatic in nature. They are aquatic organisms. Okay. Reproduction can be both sexual and asexual. So I can write asexual and sexual, both. Alright. Please copy this part first. Okay. So साथ में copy करना है. Okay. Please copy this part first. Okay, done. Let me erase this part. Please pause the video and copy the notes. Okay. Next part is the links. Or I can write protista acts as a link. Protista acts as a connecting link between different groups of organisms. So as we have already discussed that we have 5 different classification systems. Okay, now we have 5 different kind of kingdoms, I can say, like kingdom Mondera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and kingdom Animalia. Now this Protista kingdom acts as a connecting links between different group of organisms. Sorry. Like if I say this is Protista, these are other kingdoms. Like if I say Mondera, then Fungi, then Plantae, then Animalia. So these different types of kingdoms are well connected with kingdom Protista. How? Let's see. Please copy this part first. Pause करो and copy करो. Okay, done. Okay. So in the earlier system of classification, earlier systems, of classification. When there was no 5 kingdom classification, there were only 2 kingdoms. And what were they? They were plant kingdom and animal kingdom. There were only 2 kingdoms, and in those kingdoms only 2 type of kingdoms are plant and animal kingdom. So if there is an organism and you have to put that organism into classification system, you have only 2 options, okay, plant or animal. And this was the earliest system of classification. Right now we have 5 different classification systems, right? But पुराने ज़माने में there are only 2 options, plant kingdom and animal kingdom, okay? But if I say that there is a group called algae. Algae जानते हो algae? In local language they are called kai. 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 हिंदी में उसको kai बोलते हैं. Kai. Kai. So what do you mean by kai? Kai means greenish colored layer, right? Greenish colored layer present on the banks of rivers or in any moist area, right? On moist areas में पाया जाता है, right? So these algae were considered to be plants. Later on it was found that these algae are of different types. Okay, so there were some algae that were considered plants, some algae were considered protista, some algae were considered fungi. Okay, so this system was not foolproof. This system was not foolproof. Okay, later on, like if I say algae एक diverse group है, algae is a diverse group. Algae is a diverse group which comprises of a number of organisms, and these organisms are placed in different classification systems. Some of them are plants, some of them are monera, some of them are protista also. So let me give some examples so that ये समझ में आया तुम्हें. Let's see. If I talk about green algae, which is this type, okay, green algae. So these are placed under plant kingdom, okay, or I can say plantae. Similarly, when I say red and brown algae, so they were placed in kingdom protista. Again, when I say blue green algae, they were placed in kingdom monera. Okay, now I think you have heard this term blue green algae. We have discussed this term in the previous chapter, kingdom monera, in which we talked about a bacteria called cyanobacteria. We talked about this bacteria, cyanobacteria. Cyano literally means blue green. Okay, cyano literally means blue green. But in the earlier classification system, this blue green algae was considered to be a plant. Okay, earlier classification system में सारे algae को plant बोला गया था. All algae were considered plant. Later on, it was found that algae एक diverse group है, in which organisms are placed under different types of kingdoms. Some of them are placed under kingdom monera, as for example the blue green algae, which was renamed later as cyanobacteria. They were placed in kingdom monera. Similarly, the red brown algae were placed in kingdom protista, and the green algae were placed in plantae. Okay, so it was not changed. They were placed in plantae for some obvious reasons जो हम लोग बाद में discuss करेंगे. Alright, please copy this part first. Okay, done. Okay. So next thing that we'll discuss is the different types of protists. So now there are some protists which are plant-like, some protists which are animal-like. Okay, and there are some protists which are fungus-like as well. So let's discuss that. चलो, इसको बिठा दो. Okay. give the heading plant-like protist. Plant-like protist. Please give the heading plant-like protist. Plant-like protist. Example. Plant-like protist. Example. Algae. Plant-like protist. प्लांट के जैसा बट प्लांट नहीं है, प्लांट के जैसा है बट प्लांट नहीं है. प्लांट लाइक प्रोटिस्ट एग्जांपल इज this is under Monera. Example is red and brown algae. Red and brown algae. Red algae and brown algae. These are two different types of algae which are similar to plants but they are not plants. And hence they are placed under a separate kingdom which is called kingdom Protista. Okay. Next comes animal-like protist. Okay, animal-like protist. Animal-like protist. Example देखो. Example देखो. Example है हमारे पास. Paramecium. Paramecium euglena, amoeba. Okay, so these are examples of animal-like protist. Paramecium euglena, amoeba. All right. Next, and my question is, why are they considered to be animal-like? Okay. Although we know that they are not animals, but how can I say that they are animal-like protists? Because the reason is their animal-like nutrition. Okay, animal-like nutrition, and the reason for this is plant-like nutrition. Plant-like nutrition. Now, if I say plant-like nutrition, I mean photosynthesis. So they can perform photosynthesis. So I can write photosynthesis का production होता है, performation होता है. Photosynthesis, they can perform photosynthesis to the red and brown algae which are plant-like protists. They can perform photosynthesis. On the other hand, animal-like protists, they have animal-like nutrition. That means they can engulf their food. Okay, from the surroundings. Please note this thing. The process of engulfment of food from the surrounding is known as phagocytosis. Okay, this process of engulfment of food from the surrounding, that is called phagocytosis. So this is called phagocytosis. So these organisms can perform phagocytosis. Next, there are some fungus-like protists. Okay, there are some fungus-like protists. So examples are slime molds. Please note, slime molds are not the scientific names, right? Slime molds indicate a common group in which there are a number of organisms. Okay, so they are commonly called as slime molds. Okay, the fungus-like protists, they are called slime molds, and they have some fungus-like characters, like they feed on. Again, their nutrition is saprophytic. Okay, so they feed on dead and decaying organic matter. So hence they are called saprophytic nutrition. This nutrition is called saprophytic nutrition, and the organisms are called saprophytes. Okay, सड़ा गला खाने वाला, dead and decaying matter खाने वाला. Okay, so they feed on dead and decaying matter. So they are called slime molds. Okay, so these are some different types of protists which are similar to plants, animals, and fungus, but they are not considered as plants, neither animals nor fungus. They are considered in a separate kingdom, which is kingdom Protista. Okay, so I can say that kingdom Protista, it acts as a dustbin. It acts as a dustbin because जो भी organism एनिमेलिया में फिट नहीं हो रहा था, यू आर डंपिंग इट इनटू किंगडम प्रोटिस्टा। जो भी ऑर्गेनिज्म प्लांटी में फिट नहीं हो रहा था, अगेन यू आर डंपिंग इट टू किंगडम प्रोटिस्टा। ओके, जो भी मोंगरा में फिट नहीं हुआ उसको भी तुम यहाँ डंप कर, तो जो भी डिफरेंट फंगस से भी जो फिट नहीं हुआ उसको भी तुम यहाँ पे फिट कर दे रहे हो। ठीक है, जो कहीं पर भी नहीं जा पा रहे, दे आर कमिंग टू सेपरेट किंगडम विच इज किंगडम प्रोटिस्टा, सो इट एक्ट्स एज अ डस्टबिन। ओके, अगेन आई कैन से दैट, अच्छी भाषा में बोलूँ तो इट एक्ट्स एज अ connecting link between different types of kingdoms. Okay, one more thing which is an exception to protist, please note this, is very important exception to unicellular nature of protist. Protists जो organisms हैं इनका जो नेचर इट इज यूनिसेलुलर यूकैरियोटिक, राइट? बट देयर आर सम ऑर्गेनिजम्स व्हिच आर मल्टीसेलुलर yet they are placed in kingdom protista, and those organisms are aquatic plants, plant like in fact, they are called kelps. Okay, they are called kelps. So kelps जो होते हैं ना, ये लोग बहुत बड़े बड़े होते हैं, ठीक है, तो 50 मीटर 60 मीटर्स लेंथ के होते हैं, and they are multicellular organisms, they are not unicellular, they are multicellular, and they are present in water bodies. वाटर में होते हैं, aquatic होते हैं, so they are exception to the unicellular nature. Except kelps, all the other different organisms are unicellular nature. Actually क्या है कि kelp does not fit into any other category. ना ये animal है, ना ये plant है, ना ये monera है, ना fungus है. kelp इसमें से कुछ भी नहीं है. तो जो कुछ भी नहीं है वो क्या होगा? जिसका कोई नहीं है उसका कौन है? उसका kingdom protista है. Okay, इसका कोई नहीं, उसका kingdom protista है. So ultimately they were put under kingdom protista. Although they are not true protist, but yet इसको डाल दिया गया इसके अंदर. हो सकता है in future this category can change, but for the time being they are placed under kingdom protista, and this is an exception. Okay, please copy this part. Okay, done. Next part is the different classification system under kingdom protista. So we will classify protista into 5 categories. Let's see. So please get the heading. Classification of kingdom protista. Classification of kingdom protista. Number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Please make notes along with me, and these topics are not present in NCERT. These are some extra topics. तो इसको मैं जो पढ़ा रहा हूँ बस उतना ही पढ़ना और कहीं से कुछ नहीं पढ़ना. ठीक है, ये नोट्स ही तुम्हारे लिए काम आने वाले नीट एग्जाम में. एनसीईआरटी से बाहर कुछ क्वेश्चन यहाँ से आते हैं. एनसीईआरटी में बहुत थोड़ा सा दिया हुआ है, बट यू हैव टू कंप्लीट इट यूजिंग माय नोट्स. ओके, सो लेट्स क्लासिफाई किंगडम प्रोटिस्टा. द फर्स्ट कैटेगरी इज कॉल्ड chrysophyte or chrysophytes simply. Now I have a trick or a mnemonic for this. So the trick is cry-despo. This one is chrysophytes. D is dinoflagellates. Okay, dinoflagellates. Next, UE. This is euglenoids. Next, S, slime molds. Next, PO. This indicates protozoa. So please remember this cry-despo, and ये पांचों categories तुमको याद हो जाएंगे. So let's start with the first category. Please copy this part first, and then give the heading chrysophytes. Chrysophytes, number one. Chrysophytes literally mean, chryso means golden, and phyte means plants. Okay, so they are basically golden plants. Okay, golden plants. So they are some plant-like protists, and in the earlier classification systems, they were considered to be plants. But right now they are placed under kingdom Protista because they have some dissimilarities with plants, and hence they are placed in a new kingdom, which is kingdom Protista. Okay, let's see. So they are golden plants because their color, they appear to be golden in color. They appear to be golden in color. Okay. Now chrysophytes का जो best example of chrysophytes that we have in our syllabus is diatoms. And this is very, very important. Diatom. Now, what are diatoms? So diatoms are organisms which are let's see the characteristic features of diatoms. So please give the heading diatoms and then give us a heading characteristic features. Characteristic features. Sorry. Characteristic features of diatoms. Okay. Number one. They have different types of pigments. They have different types of pigments. Example: chlorophyll, xanthophyll, spelling xanthophyll, carotenes, etc. और भी कुछ टाइप्स है, बट ये तीन मेन है. Okay, chlorophyll, xanthophyll, carotenes, etc. Next point, the cell wall. Point number two. The cell wall is made up of. कैसे करते हैं? The cell wall is very hard. बहुत hard है. The cell wall is very hard, and it is made up of. Why it's hard? Because it is made up of pectin. The cell wall is very hard because it is made up of pectin, silica, and cellulose. Out of which सिलिका का जो अमाउंट है वो हाईएस्ट अमाउंट में सिलिका प्रेजेंट है. ओके, बिकॉज ऑफ दीज डिपोजिशंस, सिलिका एंड पेक्टिन, देयर आर सम डिपोजिशंस. ओके, सो दीज आर डिपोजिशंस क्या होते हैं? नॉर्मली द सेल वॉल इज मेड अप ऑफ सेलुलोज ओनली. सपोज दिस इज द सेल वॉल, दिस एक्स्ट्रा कवरिंग इज द सेल वॉल. ओके, लेट्स शेड इट. इफ आई से दिस पोर्शन इज अ cell wall, right? Now if some extra depositions are present over this cell wall, let's say these are some depositions which are present here. So this blue portion is the deposition. Okay, so this makes the cell wall harder, okay, and tougher and rigid. Okay, more rigid हो जाएगा ना. So this deposition is actually nothing but silica and pectin. Out of silica and pectin, silica का जो concentration है that is higher, okay, and this makes the cell wall tougher or harder or more rigid. Please draw this part first. Draw this part. Okay, done. Next, habitat. Point number three. Habitat. So what is habitat? The place where this organism lives is called habitat. So habitat is obviously aquatic. So aquatic habitat obviously. Now aquatic is again of two types. It can be fresh water, right? Fresh water means, when I say fresh water, I mean rivers, lakes, ponds, okay, wells. These are fresh water bodies. And when I say marine water, then obviously seas and oceans. Okay, these are marine water. So these organisms can survive in both types of water, fresh water as well as marine water. Okay, so this is the habitat of this organism. One more thing, diatoms can swim passively. Now, what is passive swimming in water? Passive swimming. Let's say there are two different types of swimming. let me simplify this term. Active swimming and passive swimming. When I say when I say active swimming, actually I am using some ATPs. Active, A for active, A for ATPs. You are using some energy for swimming. That is called active. But if you do it without using ATPs, that is called passive swimming. For example, if this is the water body and you have a boat, okay, this is the water body and you have this boat on which you are standing here and we are giving a Titanic pose, suppose. So this boat is flowing in this direction, okay. And then there is a paper boat. This is a paper boat. Your friend इसका एक पेपर बोट है, तुम्हारे पास असली का बोट है, तुम्हारे फ्रेंड के पास पेपर बोट है, and this paper boat is swimming in this direction. Okay, now what will happen? Collision हो जाएगा, दोनों टकरा जाएंगे. Okay, so that is not required. At the moment I am saying is that this paper boat flows with the water current. जिस तरह water का direction है, उस तरफ ही paper boat भी flow कर रहा है. While this boat flows against it. It can flow with the direction of current as well, but right now in this situation, this is flowing against the water current. Okay, flows against the water current. Why it's possible? Because इसके पास कुछ fuel है जो burn कर रहा है. Boat के पास कुछ fuel है which is burning, and it is providing the energy to the boat to move in the opposite direction, right? But this paper boat cannot do that, right? वो इस तरह move नहीं कर सकता. It has to go in the direction in which the water is flowing, right? So this movement which occurs in the direction of water, that is called passive. Okay? You are not spending any energy. Okay? So this is important. So यहाँ पर without expenditure of energy, you are doing your job without expending any energy. Okay, you are not spending up any energy. So this is called passive. On the other hand, in this case, you can guess it right. क्या बोल सकते हो? In this case, this is active because movement, or I can say swimming, anything. Movement occurs with the expenditure of energy. You are using energy, and with the help of that energy, your boat is flowing in this direction. That's it. So what happens in this case? The diatoms swim passively in water. So they don't use their own energy. They are just using the flow of water. Okay. So I can write without any expenditure of energy. That is called passive movement. Please copy this part first. Alright, so let's move to the next part, fourth part. After habitat, the fourth part is nutrition. Fourth part is nutrition. So we have discussed is that these organisms are mostly photosynthetic, and diatoms are actually photosynthetic only. We don't have any diatom that is heterotrophic. Okay, so I can simply write nutrition is autotrophic. Okay, autotrophic only. Diatoms are autotrophics. Okay, there are some protists which are heterotrophic, but diatoms specifically, this is autotrophic in nature. Now diatoms, again this point is also very important. Diatoms are chief producers of food in oceans. ओशंस में तो ट्रीज है नहीं, फॉरेस्ट है नहीं वहाँ पर, तो ओशन में जो फोटोसिंथेसिस का रेट होता है वो मैक्सिमम कौन करता है, मतलब लार्जेस्ट फूड कौन बनाता है ओशन के अंदर, वो है डायटम्स. सो डायटम्स आर दोज ऑर्गेनिजम्स दैट प्रोड्यूस फूड staying in oceans. Okay, so please note this point. Diatoms are chief producers of food in oceans, and they store their food. They store their food in the form of oils. Just as human beings store their food in the form of glycogen, plants store their food in the form of starch. Similarly, these organisms store their food in the form of oil. Okay, oil droplets. Fine. Now there is a term which is called, which is again important, diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth. Let's see what is this. So this and this very important. Diatomaceous earth. Let's see. So for that we need to understand the structure of structure. So fifth point is structure of diatom, whatever, जो भी structure of diatom. Let's see कैसा होता है. Normally it is made up of cell wall, right? Cell wall से बना होता है. And when I say cell wall है, तो इसके ऊपर कुछ deposition हो भी सकता है और नहीं भी हो सकता. Okay. So this is the structure of a diatom, and covering it is the cell wall. A cell wall of diatom is more or less like a soap box. Soap box. जैसे अगर तुम इसको उठाना चाहो ऐसे उठा सकते हो, तो कैसा दिखेगा फिर? ये पार्ट अलग हो गया और ये पार्ट अलग हो गया. You can open it. ऐसे थी. You are just separating the two parts. अलग अलग. So this is called soap box structure of cell wall of diatoms. Okay, diatoms का cell wall soap box like होता है. Now the upper layer, this upper layer is called epitheca, or simply epitheca. Okay, and this lower layer is called hypotheca or hypotheca. Now hypo means lower, theca means layer, lower layer. Similarly, epi means upper and theca means layer. Okay, upper layer, lower layer. That's it. Now this cell wall is again covered with something, and what is that? It's silica and pectin. Normally we are talking about silica here. So this cell wall is covered with deposition of silica. The cell wall is covered with deposition of silica. Now this silica is extremely resistant, right? Okay, extremely resistant to heat, temperature, pH, enzymes, pressure, etc. So surrounding environments के against, this is extremely resistant. Now because of this nature, it can survive in the surrounding environment for a very long period of time. Let's imagine the condition in which there was an organism, there was a protista, there was a diatom. Suppose this is the diatom, okay, and इसकी death होगी, ठीक है, death of diatom, इसकी death होगी. After its death, इसकी जो body parts है, देखो इसका ये body part यहाँ, ये इसका बॉडी, दिस बॉडी डिकम्पोजेस, बहुत जल्दी इसका डिकम्पोजिशन हो गया, बट जो इसके सेल वॉल पे सिलिका वाज प्रेजेंट, दैट सिलिका टेक्स अ लॉन्ग टाइम फॉर डिकम्पोजिशन. ओके, सो ये highly resistant है ना, it will take a longer period of time for decomposition. As a result, it stays in that habitat for a very long period of time. Even though organism मर चुका है, फिर भी ये उसका जो सेल वॉल का सिलिका है, it is still present there. Okay, so what happens? अभी सिर्फ एक डायटम बना था. Let's say यहाँ पर thousands of diatoms, when they die, what happens? Body decomposes soon, but silica accumulates. Silica that was present in the cell wall, it accumulates in that habitat. It stays there for a very long period of time, क्योंकि उसका decomposition नहीं होता. Okay, it stays there, and because of its accumulation, what happens? What happens कि यहाँ पर silica accumulates, and because of increasing silica layers, एक के बाद एक बहुत सारे सिलिका लेयर्स बनने लगेंगे. जैसे मैं ऊपर में दिखाऊँ तो मैं इसको इरेज कर रहा हूँ. If you have not copied this part, please copy this first. I'm erasing this part, not forward, this part. Okay. So what happens? Silica accumulate, and because of increasing silica layers, suppose ये silica का layer, पहले डायटम यहाँ पे मेरा, फिर इसका सिलिका, फिर सेकंड सिलिका, थर्ड सिलिका, फोर्थ सिलिका, फिफ्थ सिलिका करते करते thousands of silica are deposited here. बहुत सारे डायटम्स का बॉडी डिपॉजिट हो रहा है, सिलिका बहुत सारे डिपॉजिट हो रहा है, and there's a pile of silica here. Okay, I can write piles of silica are deposited here. Are deposited. Okay. Now, since piles of silica are deposited, what happens? The upper silica layers, these layers, put pressure on these layers. Okay. Because of increasing pressure, what happens? The silica which is present at the bottom of this pile, it breaks down. Okay, there is breaking. Okay, so this becomes some powder-like structure, or it appears as a powder. Okay, powdery silica is found at the bottom. Now, this powdery structure is nothing but, this is known as diatomaceous earth powder. Okay, this is called diatomaceous earth powder, and this pile of silica is simply called diatomaceous earth. Okay, so we have got two terms. One is diatomaceous earth, the second is diatomaceous earth powder. Okay, so जो complete pile मिल रहा है उसको earth क्यों बोल रहे हैं? Because it appears as an island. जैसे कि क्या होता है कि when this layer continues to grow, so it appears above the sea level. Okay, sea के अंदर था मान लो, sea के ऊपर उठ गया मान लो, तो sea के बीचों बीच अचानक से एक island आ जाता है. Okay, an island appears from nowhere, and that is made up of silica. So because ये एक island जैसा appear करता है, it is called earth, and since its composition is made up of diatoms, it is called diatomaceous earth. Okay, and the powder which is obtained is called diatomaceous earth powder, which has a number of functions. Like these powders are used in polishing. These are used to make toothpaste. Okay, again these are used to make digestive powders. ये सब लिखना होगा, digestive powders. They can ask you the function of silica in your exams. Okay, so this is important. Digestive powders again are used in cosmetic industries. Cosmetics का production करने के लिए. Okay, so that's it. ये part यहाँ पर end होता है about diatomaceous earth. Please copy this part first. I will erase this thing. Okay. So let's proceed to the next part. I hope इसमें copy कर लिया होगा सबने. Copy नहीं किया तो pause करो और copy करो. The next part is about the second one, that is dinoflagellates. So चलो बताते हैं इसको. Rhizophytes का जो example था that was Dan. It's the second one, Cridespo. That's the second part, and that is dinoflagellates. So please keep this happening. Number 2. Number 2 is dinoflagellates. 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 Okay. So dinoflagellates क्या होता है? Let's see. Dinoflagellates का जो literal meaning है, dino means two, flagellate means flagella. So I can write two flagella. Now the two flagella are of two types obviously. दो तरह का flagella है इसके पास. One is called transverse flagella. Transverse flagella. While the other one is called longitudinal flagella. Longitudinal flagella. Now the function of transverse is like दोनों का movement ही function है. Both the flagella will help in movement. Now one flagella is transverse. Transverse का मतलब ऐसे. This is the flagella. So it will move like this or like this. Okay. So या तो अगर मैं flagella हूँ, let's imagine me as flagella. So if I move in this pattern, so left right. This is transverse nature. Up down I can't move. Okay. So up down means इस तरह से. Okay. Up down. Okay. If I jump and then come back, I won't do that on camera. Okay. So jump and नीचे ऊपर नीचे इस तरह से. That is called longitude. Okay. So if the motion is like this, up down. Okay. Up down. That is called longitudinal. Okay. So it will help it will have the dinoflagellate in moving up and down. Okay. Longitudinal. Transverse. This will help in movement of dinoflagellate in the right or left direction. Okay. So sideways movement I can write. Sideways. Side. Left here right. Sideways movement. This is done by dinoflagellates. I hope this is clear. So there are two different types of flagella present, and those organisms are considered to be dinoflagellates. Let's proceed. The next characteristic feature is the just write like first like that. Write that these are two flagella. This is the first characteristic feature, right? Second characteristic feature. So second characteristic feature little. They have chlorophyll. They have chlorophyll, carotenes. And जैसे पीछे में लिखे थे carotenes के साथ और क्या लिखा था? And xanthophylls. ठीक है? Xanthophylls. So these are pigments. Now if chlorophyll is present, that means they will be able to perform photosynthesis, right? So they can perform photosynthesis, right? Number 3, second था chlorophyll वाला part. Third part, they have some light sensitive organelles. They have some light sensitive organelles called eyes. Okay, light sensitive organelles called eye spot. इसका एग्जाम्पल लिखा है एरिथ्रोसिडीनियम. This is an organism. This is a dinoflagellate. This is erythrocnidum. P silent. Erythrocidinium. It's an organism in which this eye spot is present. Now, what is eye spot? Eye spot is a light-sensitive organelle. It can sense light from which direction the light is coming. It can sense and it can refer that information to the brain of this dinoflagellate. Okay. So this erythrocidinium is the smallest known. Yeah, it has the smallest eye spot sample. This organism has the smallest eye spot. Okay, and this question came in AIPMT examination. So this is important. So you should remember this name, erythrocidinium. P silent. Okay. So chlorophyll is present, carotene, xanthophyll, light sensitive organelles are present. Okay. Now what is the habitat of this organism? Habitat क्या हो? So it is very easy to guess. So it is obviously aquatic. Now aquatic can be fresh water or it can be marine water. So I can write fresh water. Let's talk about nutrition. So I will erase this part first. Please copy this part. Okay. So next part, number 5. Number 5. Nutrition. Nutrition is both photosynthetic, since chlorophyll was present, photosynthetic, and in some organism, some dinoflagellates only, not all. Okay. Photosynthetic and in some organisms it is heterotrophic as well. Heterotrophic as well. Okay. Now when I say heterotrophic nutrition, I mean to say some ingestion kind of thing. Okay, ingestion here. Now heterotrophs can be of different types. So specifically if I write, so this is called holozoic nutrition. Okay, holozoic nutrition means you are ingesting something. It's like just like human beings. Human beings, when they ingest something, that is called ingestion, and that kind of nutrition is called holozoic nutrition. Okay. So whenever you ingest something, that is called holozoic. Okay. So it simply means ingestion of food particles. The food can be obviously different in different types of organisms. Okay. जैसे for example, photosynthetic तो पता ही होगा. Heterotrophic का example मैं दोनों ले रहा हूँ. For example, if suppose there is a fish. This is the fish, okay, and ये इसका eggs है. These are the eggs of fishes. Fish का egg. Now there are some protists which feed on the skin of this fish. So what they do is they attack the face of fish को pimple हो गया बहुत सारा. They attack the face of the fish and they form golden colored or not. They form golden colored powdery layer on the face of the fish, which is known as, that is not required. You have to remember the name of the organism which causes this, right? Just remember the name of the organism which causes this. Caused by. It's caused by Oudemia. It's caused by an organism which is called Oudemia. Okay. Similarly, the eggs of fish. इनके सरफेस पर भी क्या होगा? There are some blue colored dot-like structures like this. Blue colored growth on the surface of eggs of fishes. फिश का ही दुश्मन है कौन? प्रोटिस्ट. ये क्या कर रहे हैं? फिश को भी इन्फेक्ट कर रहे हैं और उसके अंडे को भी इन्फेक्ट कर रहे हैं. But the organisms that infect the fish, they are Oudemium. Okay, they are called Oudemium. And the organisms that affect the eggs of fishes, they are called. So कौन cause करता है? Caused by. इसका नाम भी लिखेंगे. Caused by Noctiluca. Okay, Noctiluca. You have to underline because this is the scientific name. Again, this is also the scientific name. So these two terms are important, these two names are important. Please copy this part. This is the nutrition in some organism which is heterotrophic in nature. Okay, done. Alright, so let's see the next part, which is reproduction. Number 6, I can simply write reproduction here only. Let's write it down. Reproduction is asexual. Reproduction is asexual in nature. Reproduction is asexual in nature, and it occurs specifically. It occurs by fission. Fission means breaking off. Fission means breaking off. So I'm erasing this part. Seventh point is very important. Red tide. Okay. So what is red tide? Let's see. Now what happens? Tide normally जानते हो क्या होता है? Red tide means the color of the sea becomes red. Okay. And this is because of activity of these organisms. Like what happens exactly here is there are some organisms. Example में बोलूँगा Goniolax. Okay. Goniolax is one such example. There are other examples as well. So Goniolax क्या करता है? They multiply rapidly. Okay, they multiply rapidly. They are a group of red algae. Okay, they are a group of red algae, and they have they can multiply very rapidly. So suppose in an area they are multiplying rapidly, and because of their multiplication, what happens? They are polluting the water system here. Okay? Water system को pollute कर देगा, and because of the pollution, what happens? Many organisms which live in that water, they die. Okay. Apart from this, they also secrete some neurotoxins. Okay. Let's see. They multiply rapidly and secrete some neurotoxins. What are neurotoxins? Let's see. Neurotoxins, as the name indicates, whenever you have a term which is complex, just break it into two parts. Neurotoxins. Neuro means nervous systems related, and toxins means which are toxic to our system, right? So हमारे nervous system के लिए जो toxic होता है, that is called neurotoxins. So they secrete some neurotoxins which act as nerve poisons. Okay, they act as nerve poisons. Now, when they act as nerve poisons, they block the nervous system. They block the nervous system. किसका nervous system? यार मैं तो वहाँ गया नहीं था. जो organism वहाँ रहते हैं उनको block कर रहे हैं ना. तो block the nervous system of that of the organisms, nervous system of the organisms which are present in that water. Of the nervous system of the organisms present in water. At the same time, since they multiply rapidly, their number increases. So again write, since they multiply rapidly, their numbers increase in the water world. And the water appears red. Okay, and hence this phenomena is called red tide. This process is called red tide. And what is the effect of this red tide? The effect of this red tide is death of aquatic organisms. Okay? Death of aquatic life. So it hampers aquatic organisms. It hampers the lives of aquatic organisms. So this is very, very destructive to that ecosystem जहाँ पर ये होता है. Okay? And ये इसलिए बहुत ही important है हमारे syllabus के हिसाब से. Please copy करो इसको. Red tide. नेक्स्ट पार्ट बेटा, नेक्स्ट पार्ट, दैट्स इट। ये हमारा सेकंड पार्ट डायना फ्लैजेलेट्स यहाँ पर एंड होता है। लेट्स सी व्हाट द सेकंड पार्ट, द थर्ड पार्ट। सो क्राइडेस्पो, क्राइड डी एस ई, फिर एस फिर यू, सो ई मीन्स यूग्लिनॉइड्स, ठीक है, यूग्लिना जैसा। नंबर 3 यूग्लिना लाइक, ये इसका पूरा नाम, यूग्लिना लाइक, या सिंपली मैं इसको बोलूँगा, क्या बोलूँगा, यूग्लिनॉइड्स। ओके, यूग्लिना नहीं, यूग्लिना जैसा है, ये यूग्लिना की जैसा है, मतलब यूग्लिना नहीं है, यूग्लिना इज समथिंग एल्स, दिस इज यूग्लिनॉइड्स, ऑइड्स मीन्स जस्ट लाइक। ओके, now euglenoids have some properties which are similar to plants, and then there are some properties which are similar to that of animals. Okay, so they have two types of properties, plant-like properties, and they also have some animal-like properties. Now when I say plant-like properties, then I mean to say they can perform photosynthesis. Similarly, when I say animal-like properties, then they can perform heterotrophic nutrition, and heterotrophic nutrition is of two types. In this case, it is parasitic and saprotropic or saprophytic भी लिख सकते हैं, की बात है, थोड़ा डिफरेंस है बट यहाँ पे सेम। So normally euglenoids they perform parasitic behavior. So let's see क्या होता है यहाँ पे। And one more thing, metabolic, which is important here, metabolic. What is metabolic? Now, euglenoid, suppose this is the euglenoid, और ये बहुत ही भुक्कड़ होता है। क्या होता है? भुक्कड़। सो खाना चाहिए, सिंस वो खाना चाहिए तो ये फिर यहाँ से उठकर यहाँ पर है ना, खाना यहाँ पर, ये उठकर यहाँ जाएगा ऐसे और खा लेगा, इसको खाएगा, इसको खा लेगा। इसमें यहाँ से यहाँ मूव करना है तो इट विल चेंज इट्स स्ट्रक्चर ड्यूरिंग दिस मूवमेंट। ओके, now this change occurs because of, फर्स्ट में देखा तो कैसे ये मूव कर, लेट्स अब इसका स्ट्रक्चर देखो कैसा है, ऐसा है, स्पिंडल शेप ट्रेन इस तरह का, बट अभी जाकर जब ये मूव करेगा ना तो यहाँ पर प्रेशर क्रिएट होता है। जान के रखो, दिस इज नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट, बट जान के रखो कैसे होता है प्रोसेस। सो यहाँ पर प्रेशर आएगा, सो ये जो मास है, ये जो मास है ये डिक्रीज कर रहा है यहाँ पर, एज ए रिजल्ट ये जो मास होगा फास्ट वाला, दिस विल इंक्रीज लाइक दिस, this. Okay. Similarly, अगर इसको वापस यहाँ मूव करना है, इस डायरेक्शन में खा लिया वापस आएगा तो अब फिर से ऐसे करेगा and वापस its shape would be like this. So this change in shape occurs when it moves from one point to another point. One point to another point जब move करता है तो उसके shape में change आता है, and that is called metabolic. Okay. Change in shape when euglenoids move from one point to another. Please copy this part. This is called metabolic. Okay. My question is, क्या इसके पास सेल वॉल है? What do you think? क्या सेल वॉल है इसके पास? अगर सेल वॉल होता, सेल वॉल इज अ रिजिड स्ट्रक्चर, सो इसकी बॉडी इतनी फ्लेक्सिबल नहीं होती। सिंस द बॉडी इज वेरी वेरी फ्लेक्सिबल, दैट मीन्स दे लैक सेल वॉल। ओके, सो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज स्ट्रक्चर। मुझे लिखो स्ट्रक्चर, सेल वॉल। सो आई कैन राइट, ये वाला फर्स्ट पॉइंट हो गया, ये सेकेंड पॉइंट हो गया, और ये थर्ड पॉइंट। Cell wall is absent. Now instead of cell wall, there is a flexible layer. Called, इस flexible layer का नाम है pellicle. Pellicle is present. Okay. Cell wall तो absent है, लेकिन pellicle is present, which provides flexibility. Pellicle provides flexibility. Okay. Please copy करो. And one more thing, whether flagella is absent or present, So in some cases flagella is present. In most of the cases flagella is present. Okay, so you can just also write flagella is present. Flagella is present. But इस movement के लिए जहाँ पे मेटाबॉली हो रही है flagella का यूज नहीं हुआ. Okay, flagella is present in most urinoids. ठीक है? ओके, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट न्यूट्रिशन. और एक और चीज़ न्यूट्रिशन से मुझे याद है, फोटोसिंथेसिस होगा कि नहीं होगा? सो लेट मी इरेज दिस. सो यूरिन क्या है जो पीछे पड़े हैं, बुक्कड़ खाता रहता है सिर्फ. ठीक है, दिन में खाता है, शाम को खाता है, रात को खाता है, ऑल द टाइम खाता रहता है. कुछ काम नहीं खाता है, बस सुबह हो या रात खाता है. सो मॉर्निंग हो या नाइट इट ऑलवेज ईट्स. अब खाने का तरीका अलग अलग होता है. ब्रेकफास्ट में ये कुछ और खाता है, डिनर में ये कुछ और खाता है. ठीक है, तो मॉर्निंग में जब सनलाइट इज अवेलेबल, व्हेन देयर इज सनलाइट, तब ये करता है फोटोसिंथेसिस. Okay, when sunlight is present, then it performs photosynthesis. But when the sunlight is absent, in that case, ये photosynthesis नहीं कर पाता. ठीक है, उस वक्त ये क्या करता है? उस वक्त ये अपने आसपास के जितने ऑर्गेनिज्म है उनको खाता है. ठीक है, जैसे कि मान लो ये सी है, ये फ्रेश वाटर में रहता है नॉर्मली. तो अगर ये एक वाटर बॉडी रिवर सपोज, और यहाँ पे यूरिना प्रेजेंट है, यूरिनॉइड्स है, इसके आसपास कुछ बैक्टीरिया प्रेजेंट होंगे. मान लो ये बैक्टीरिया, तो इसको दिन के टाइम ये सन आया, मान लो दिन के टाइम तो आराम से धूप मिल रही है, इसको धूप मिल रही है तो अपना खाना बना रहा है, फोटोसिंथेसिस कर रहा है. बट रात को टाइम तो भूख लगी ना इसको, रात को तो खाएगा. तो रात के टाइम क्या करेगा? अगर ये यहाँ पर मैं मूड बना दूँ, रात होगी, तो उस वक्त क्या करेगा? ये इस बैक्टीरिया को खा लेगा, क्योंकि ये क्या है? बुक्कड़, ये खाते ही रहता है. ठीक है, तो रात के टाइम ये कौन सा न्यूट्रिशन शो करता है? हेट्रोट्रॉफिक न्यूट्रिशन. ठीक है, मतलब एनिमल लाइक. इसको क्या बोलते हैं? एनिमल लाइक प्रोटिस्ट भी बोलते हैं, बिकॉज इसमें एनिमल वाला प्रॉपर्टी भी आ गया. अभी तक नहीं आया था, पहली बार आया. ठीक है, सो यही चीज़ है, बस ये दिन को भी खाता है, रात को भी खाता है, इसीलिए इसका नाम है यूकोयूकोसी. कौन? यूग्लिनॉइड. यूग्लिनॉइड क्या है? यूग्लिनॉइड यूकोयूकोसी बुक्कड़ है. ठीक है, इसको भी याद करो, याद रहेगा ऐसे. एंड ये पार्ट यहाँ पर हुआ. अच्छा, अगर फ्लोरोसेंस हो रहा मतलब ये क्लोरोफिल प्रेजेंट है कि नहीं? क्या ऑब्वियसली प्रेजेंट है, तो क्लोरोफिल प्रेजेंट है. तो ये वाला पार्ट यहाँ पर यूग्लिनॉइड्स का एंड होता है. एक चीज़ और ऐड करो, रिप्रोडक्शन फिर से एक बार के सेक्शन, बस हमारा ट्राई डेस्को में ई भी खत्म हो गया. नेक्स्ट पार्ट है एस वाला, इसको भी करो. ठीक है, कर लिया. ओके, so next part, number 4. Number 4, S, slime molds. S, slime molds. The slime molds normally they are fungus-like protists. The first line हमारा होगा, they are considered, you are simply right, let's write it down, fungus-like protist. Why? Because there are some common features which are similar to fungus. जैसे they feed on, मैं शॉर्ट में लिखा उसको बिकॉज ये उतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. they feed on, सो मैं अलग पॉइंट नहीं लिखा, मैं फ्लो चार्ट में सब कुछ कवर कर दूंगा, आराम से लिखो, समझ के. they feed on dead and decaying matter, just like the fungus they feed on dead and decaying matter, but they are not fungus. okay, again habitat क्या होगा इसका? ये इसका न्यूट्रिशन हो गया ना. न्यूट्रिशन होगा। चलो लिख लेते हैं। और हैबिटेट क्या बोलो? हैबिटेट इज मॉइस्ट, शेडी, हॉट एंड ह्यूमिड। इस तरह की हैबिटेट क्लाइमेट में सर्वाइव करता है। ओके, जस्ट लाइक फंगस भी ऐसा ही एनवायरनमेंट प्रेफर करता है, बट अगेन ये फंगस नहीं है। क्यों नहीं है देखेंगे। नेक्स्ट है इसका जो स्ट्रक्चर है उसकी बात, एंड उसमें हमारा डिफरेंस सामने आएगा। ठीक है ना। नॉर्मली फंगस कैसा होता है? फंगस दे हैव अ सेल वॉल, राइट? फंगस हैव अ सेल वॉल एंड दैट सेल वॉल इज मेड अप ऑफ काइटिन। यू नो काइटिन क्या होता है? काइटिन। नाउ चलो लिखते हैं फंगस, ये ऐसे लिख सकते हैं। चलो स्लाइड मोड लिख रहे हैं। दे लैक सेल वॉल। स्लाइम मोल्ड्स के पास सेल वॉल नहीं होता, अनलाइक फंगस that have cell walls with chitin. Now what is chitin? Chitin is a biomolecule and its chemical name maybe आजकल इस चैप्टर का पार्ट तो नहीं है, but in future it will be useful. It is called acetyl glucosamine. It is called acetyl glucosamine. Okay, chitin is also called acetyl glucosamine. So they lack cell wall, unlike fungus that have cell walls with chitin. Fungus के पास cell wall होता है, but slime molds के पास cell wall नहीं होता। ये first difference है। Second thing, locomotion. So slime molds can move, unlike फंगस। फंगाई जो होते हैं ना वो लोग मूव नहीं कर पाते। फंगस दैट कैन नॉट मूव, फंगस कैन नॉट मूव बट स्लाइम मोल्ड्स कैन मूव। ओके, सो दैट्स द डिफरेंस। दो डिफरेंसेस हमारे पास आए। फर्स्ट डिफरेंस ये वाला, सेकंड डिफरेंस ये वाला। सो इन दिस वे वी कैन से दैट स्लाइम मोल्ड्स आर सिमिलर टू फंगस बट दे आर नॉट एग्जैक्टली द फंगस, राइट? सो दे आर नॉट प्लेस्ड इन किंगडम फंगाई। एंड सिंस ये फंगस भी नहीं है, प्लांट भी नहीं है, एनिमल भी नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है, प्रोटिस्टा, तो इसमें कहाँ डाल देंगे हम लोग? प्रोटिस्टा में डाल देंगे। सो हेंस दे आर प्लेस्ड इन किंगडम प्रोटिस्टा। जो जिसका कोई नहीं होता उसका कौन होता है? उसका प्रोटिस्टा होता है। तो बस लास्ट में प्रोटिस्टा में आ गया। तो ये हो गया इसका लोकोमोशन। ओके, और रिप्रोडक्शन वंस अगेन क्या होगा? रिप्रोडक्शन वंस अगेन इज asexual. That's it. So let's erase करता हूँ and let's proceed to the last part. Tridespo, protozoa, and which is very simple. Protozoa. So please give the heading protozoa, which are animal-like protists without cell walls. So protozoa number 5. Protozoa, animal-like protist. Animal-like protist. Why animal-like? Because they lack cell wall. First point. They can move like animals, like small animals. Okay, like they have heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, nutrition कैसा है? Heterotrophic मतलब they do not produce their own food. They are dependent on some other organisms. Okay. They can move, they lack cell wall, and because of these reasons आप बोल सकते हो कि इनका जो न्यूट्रिशन है, और हेटेरोपिक के साथ बोल सकते हो कि कैसा एक स्पेसिफिकली बोल तो होलोजोइक। एक्चुअली होलोजोइक कम्स अंडर हेटेरोट्रॉपिक न्यूट्रिशन। हेटेरोट्रॉपिक एक ब्रॉड टर्म है, होलोजोइक स्पेसिफिक टर्म। ओके, both are correct. You can write anyone. So because of these reasons, I can say that protozoa are animal-like protist. Okay, चलो ठीक। नेक्स्ट थिंग, Reproduction could be both asexual and sexual. So you can write the next point, reproduction. Asexual or sexual. It can be anything. It depends upon the different types of organisms. Okay. Now, please copy this part first, and then इसके बाद फिर classify the protozoa. इसको classify करते हैं, and we classify it into 4 parts. So please give a subheading, classification of protozoa. First copy this part. उसके बाद इसको लिखते हैं. मैं इसको erase करूँगा. Okay. So let's classify this. So it's a 4 types. Give the heading, classification of protozoa. Number 1, amoeboid. Number 2, flagellated. Number 3, अच्छा amoeboid और flagellated में क्या डिफरेंस? Amoeboid means अमीबा के जैसा, ओके, एंड flagellated मतलब flagella जिसके पास flagella present है. Amoeboid and flagellated. Next, number 3, flagella पता है ना क्या होता है? जिससे मूव करते हैं, जैसे हम लोग पीछे पढ़े थे, longitudinal और transverse. Similar to flagella एक और टर्म है, which is ciliated. Okay, cilia. So cilia, smaller organelles, you can say, which moves, and because of their movement, the organism moves in a particular direction. Cilia are more numerous, and flagella are less in number. Okay, so smaller size में होता है cilia, बड़ा size में होता है flagella. नंबर के हिसाब से cilia का नंबर ज़्यादा होता है, flagella का नंबर कम होता है. ये कुछ basic differences हैं. So some protozoans, they have cilia, they are called ciliated. Some protozoans, they have flagella, they are called flagellated. And some of them are amoeba-like, that's why they are called amoeboid. Fourth one, sporozoans. So they produce spores. Spore producers. इसमें ज़्यादा पढ़ना है नहीं, एग्जाम्पल्स में देख रहे हैं बस, और कुछ डायग्राम्स है जो एनसीईआरटी में वो पढ़ने हैं बस. तो डायग्राम्स तुम एनसीईआरटी से खुद प्रैक्टिस कर लेना एक बार, जैसे कि पैरामीशियन का डायग्राम है. अमीबा कैसा होता है, लेट्स, चलो मैं एक ब्रीफ आइडिया देता हूँ तुम लोगों को. फर्स्ट अमीबा की बात करें. अमीबॉइड्स लाइक रेडॉइड, ये इसका फूड है और ये है हमारा अमीबॉइड. तो ये अमीबॉइड क्या करेगा? It will try to move in this direction, right? It will try to move in this direction. For that, it needs to move its cytoplasm. It extends its cytoplasm towards the food. फूड की तरफ अपने साइटोप्लाज्म को मूव करवा दें. ठीक है, जब ये फूड की तरफ अपने साइटोप्लाज्म को मूव करवा रहा है तो क्या हो रहा है? ये देखो, ये सारी चीजें उठकर यहाँ चली जाएंगी. तो स्ट्रक्चर वुड बी लाइक दिस. ये सारा पार्ट उठ करके इधर आ गया, एंड दिस पार्ट हैज बिकम वेकेंट. As a result, this amoeboid, this moves in this direction by its extension of the cytoplasm. Okay, so a food which was outside this organism now comes inside it. Okay, cytoplasm अंदर आके इसको घेर लिया. So this is called amoeboid movement. This is called amoeboid movement. ठीक है, and food का जो engulfment हो गया ना, this is called engulfed food. Engulfment of food by amoeboid movement, this is called phagocytosis. This is known as phagocytosis. Phagocytosis मतलब literal meaning क्या है? Let's understand this. Phago मतलब to engulf, निगल लेना, खा जाना. Okay. Cytosis, cyto means cell. सेल को engulf करना. Sys means process. उस process को बोलते हैं phagocytosis. To engulf a cell. That process is called phagocytosis. ओके, तो यहाँ पर एमीबॉइड्स क्या करते हैं, फैगोसाइटोसिस, दैट इज इंजेक्शन ऑफ फूड। आई होप क्लियर होगा। इसका एग्जाम्पल याद रखना, एग्जाम्पल इज एंटामीबा, एंटामीबा हिस्टोलाइटिका, एंटामीबा हिस्टोलाइटिका। ओके, द एग्जाम्पल इज एंटामीबा हिस्टोलाइटिका। ओके, अच्छा ये क्या होता है, पैरासाइट होता है। पैरासाइट मीन्स व्हिच फीड्स ऑन अदर ऑर्गेनिजम्स और होस्ट को फीड करता है, खाता है, उसके अंदर रहता है। तो एंटामीबा हमारे इंटेस्टाइन रहता है, पैरासाइट ऑफ इंटेस्टाइन। नॉर्मली ये पॉल्यूटेड वाटर ड्रिंक करने से हमारे बॉडी में आता है। सो लेट्स चलो इसको कॉपी कर लो। लेट्स प्रोसीड नेक्स्ट पार्ट नंबर 2। Second part is flagellate. Flagella present है, ऑलरेडी हम लोग डिस्कस कर चुके हैं फ्लैजेला क्या होता है। मैं जस्ट एग्जांपल लेकर हूँ, बस एग्जांपल याद करें। एग्जांपल इज ट्राइपैनोसोमा गैम्बियंस, ट्राइपैनोसोमा गैम्बियंस, ओके, ट्राइपैनोसोमा गैम्बियंस। So this organism causes a disease called sleeping sickness. It causes sleeping sickness. Okay? इसमें organism जो होता है वो humans को attack करता है normally, and the human जिसको sleeping sickness होती है, he or she sleeps for 23 hours in a day. सोए से रहता है 23 hours होता है, उठता है 1 घंटा, फेसबुक चलाता है, व्हाट्सअप करता है, फिर सो जाता है, फिर उठता है, फिर सो जाता है। तो ऐसे चलता है। बट ये एक डेडली डिजीज़ है, एंड आफ्टर 3 to 4 months डेथ हो जाती है। ठीक है, तो ये ब्रेन का डिजीज़ है, स्लीपिंग सिकनेस, विच इज कॉज्ड बाय दिस फ्लैजेलेटेड प्रोटोजोआ व्हिच इज अ पैरासाइट। ओके, ट्राइपैनोसोमा गैम्बियंस, ये भी पैरासाइट। और भी बहुत कुछ है इसके बारे में, बट इसको 12th में पढ़ना, अभी नहीं पढ़ना। तो 12th का मैं बताऊँगा जब कोर्स को देखा जाएगा। नंबर 3, ciliate। Cilia is present in this case. Best example is Paramecium. एक और चीज, Paramecium का 2 स्पेलिंग लिखा होता है, so both are same, don't get confused, एक ही बात। This is also true, ये भी true है, कोई बात नहीं। Paramecium, I will prefer this because ये ओरिजिनल है, ये बाद में मॉडिफाई हुआ है। जस्ट लाइक कि कलर्स का 2 स्पेलिंग होता है ना, एक ये और एक, दोनों राइट है, एक ब्रिटिश एक अमेरिकन, कोई भी यूज करो। ठीक है, तो पैरामीशियम इसका फुल नेम लिखते हैं, इसका जो स्पीशी नेम है इट इज कॉल्ड काउडेटम, पैरामीशियम काउडेटम। ओके, नाउ पैरामीशियम काउडेटम ये भी एक पैरासाइट है, एंड इसके पास सीलिया होता है। ऐसे इसका स्ट्रक्चर ड्रॉ करता हूँ। यहाँ पर there is a structure called gullet. It is also called cavity. Okay, there is a structure called gullet or cavity, and अगर मैं इसको यहाँ पे दिखाऊँ तो structures तो नहीं। So these structures are called cilia. These are cilia. Now, what does cilia do in this case? They bring the water from all the directions. Suppose यहाँ पे चारों तरफ water है, ठीक है? This organism is present in water, so surrounding the water present, and this water contains some dissolved solutes. ठीक है? These dissolved solutes act as food particles. ये इसका खाना है, किसका? पैरामीशियम का. ठीक है? Now these cilia, they drive the water which is laden with food towards the gullet. ठीक है, ये इस तरह से ऐसे करके अगर गलेट यहाँ पर है तो सारे पानी को गलेट की तरफ ले आता है, ठीक है, सारा मेरे को देना, ठीक है। तो सीलिया propels, or you can write steers water laden with food, water laden with food towards इसकी तरफ, towards the गलेट की तरफ ये इसको प्रपेल करता है, ठीक है। सो ये हुआ हमारा सीलिएट वाला पार्ट नंबर 3, एरेनेशियम काउडेटम। द लास्ट पार्ट इज स्पोरोजोन्स। सो मैं इसको इरेज करूँगा, प्लीज कॉपी करो। छोटा सा पार्ट है, चलो ऊपर का पार्ट में इरेज करूँगा। स्पोरोजोन्स Number 4. As the name indicates, they produce spores, and spore producers. They are called spore producers, and zoons. Zoa means last two zoons लिखा हुआ है, zoa. So they can move. They are motile. ये indicate कर रहा है zoa. ठीक है, स्पोर प्रोड्यूस करेगा और मूव भी करेगा, स्पोरोजोन्स, दे आर मोटाइल, ठीक है। अभी क्या होगा, स्पोरोजोन्स क्या करते हैं नॉर्मली, इसका एग्जांपल मैं दूं फर्स्ट, सबसे अच्छा एग्जांपल है प्लाज्मोडियम इज द पॉजिटिव एजेंट ऑफ मलेरिया, ठीक है। प्लाज्मोडियम वाइवेक्स होता है, प्लाज्मोडियम फैल्सिपेरम, प्लाज्मोडियम ओवेल, प्लाज्मोडियम मिलेरी, 4 डिफरेंट टाइप्स की होती है। मैं जस्ट वाइवेक्स लिख रहा हूँ, दैट इज ओनली रिक्वायर्ड हियर। Plasmodium vivax, positive agent of malaria. Okay. Now, Plasmodium vivax या sporozoans all together सबकी बात में करूँ तो ये लोग क्या होते हैं? Normally या in right mostly की बात करूँ, mostly they are non-motile actually. तो इसमें तो यहाँ पे जोआ लिखा हुआ था, नॉन मोटाइल, तो ये कुछ ग्रुप की वजह से यहाँ पे जोआ लिखा हुआ है। तो कुछ ग्रुप में आता है हमारा प्लाज्मोडियम। ओनली सम ग्रुप्स ऑफ ऑर्गेनिजम्स जैसे कि प्लाज्मोडियम्स, दे आर मोटाइल, ठीक है। बट मोस्टली जो स्पोरोजोन्स हैं, दे आर नॉन मोटाइल एंड दे फॉर्म स्पोर्स। स्पोर्स जानते हो सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन में भी होता है और सेक्सुअल में भी होता है। वी विल सी इन किंगडम फंगाई कि सेक्सुअल स्पोर्स कैसा होता है, but right now यहाँ पे asexual reproduction हो रहा है, okay. And last thing is they are parasitic, okay. So just write it down, like the last one, they are parasitic in nature. So obviously जो भी हम लोग देख चुके हैं अभी तक, almost all the categories, जो 4 categories protozoa की है, most of them are parasitic in nature. They feed on other organisms because they don't have their own chlorophyll pigment, so they can't produce their own food, okay. So they have to depend upon some host जिसको ये फीड करता है। तो these are some examples, sporozoans, Flagellata, cilia, और फर्स्ट वाला क्या था? फर्स्ट वाला अमीबा, ओके। सो दैट ends this part Kingdom Protista here. So अभी हम लोग क्या करना पड़ेगा? I will share a PDF, यहाँ पर मैंने शेयर कर दिया ऑलरेडी, उसको सॉल्व करो, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट डे विल स्टार्ट किंगडम फंगाई। किंगडम फंगाई के अंदर में क्या होने वाला है, चला बैठ चुके हैं मेरा। किंगडम फंगाई के अंदर क्या होने वाला है कि डिफरेंट ग्रुप ऑफ फंगस के बारे में स्टडी करेंगे। सब लोग आज प्रोटिस्टा के बारे में स्टडी करेंगे। वंस यू कैन कंप्लीट किंगडम फंगाई, देन वी विल मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट, प्लांट किंगडम, ओके। तो पढ़ते रहो, डाउट्स हो तो मुझसे पूछो। बाय।